It's been a while since I've had an opportunity to vlog, and I appreciate you guys sticking around and checking out my other videos. And as you're probably aware, if you're watching this, my dog recently went missing, and then some really awesome people found her and helped get her back to us, and we're super grateful. But in the midst of all that, there's been a lot of things that we've been going through preparing for this trip that's coming up, actually this coming weekend over Christmas break. Originally, my thought was once we got Maggie back is that I was going to drive to Oregon. Now that's, from where I live, that's 3,100 miles. But I was having a really hard time processing even the idea of leaving her with someone else, putting her in a kennel. I actually went and visited a couple of kennels here locally, and seeing all these dogs in cages and stuff, it broke my heart. I wasn't impressed really with the facilities. Not, if you leave your dog in a kennel, that's totally cool. My dog has pretty much free reign of my house, and with everything that she's been through, I just couldn't bear the thought of putting her in a cage. It just didn't seem right. So she and I were going to hit the road earlier this week, and we were going to drive to Oregon. And it was a 4-day trip I had planned, and that's driving 12 hours a day for 4 days straight. And I was willing to make that commitment. I started getting some counsel from friends and family and a lot of people that were really showing concern for me that she and I would be traveling alone for that distance. My daughter was afraid, of us making that long of a trip together by just me and the dog. And then, of course, it's not just 4 days there, it's 4 days back too. And so my wife was praying about it, and we started talking about different alternatives. And it's really cool. God provided another way for us. We went back to the same service that we were using before, which is rover.com. Again, those guys were super awesome to us when it came to everything that we went through with Maggie. And so we don't feel uncomfortable using them as a service. And matter of fact, I highly recommend them. They've been awesome through our whole journey with them. But the thought of leaving her at somebody else's house, again, somebody that you don't know, was not very appealing to us. And we found a young woman here in town who was willing to actually come and live in our house for a week while we were gone. And that's pretty cool. The fact that someone's willing to give their time to participate in that service. And then on top of that, they're doing it over Christmas break. So I couldn't be more stoked that God provided somebody to come and do that. Somebody that we can trust. Somebody that not only we can trust to leave our dog with, but, to come live in our house. It's kind of weird when you think about it, some stranger coming and living in your house, but we've met with her a couple of times. She's an awesome young lady. She's a college student, and what's most important to me is that Maggie took to her almost instantly as soon as she came in the house, and she doesn't do that with strangers, so this must be a pretty incredible young woman. So we appreciate, her name is Haley. We appreciate you, Haley, for coming and giving up your Christmas to come stay with our dog. It really means the world to us. So at this point, we're packing up all of our stuff. We got to leave super early on Christmas morning. My intent really is to vlog the whole journey. I've never really done that before. Like when we're in the midst of a whole bunch of people and going through airports and that whole thing. That seems a little odd to me. I've never really been one to want to call a lot of attention to myself, but I made a commitment when I started this journey to share my life with you guys. And to me, this whole thing is really an opportunity to connect with people all over the world. Not that I live some kind of extra special life, because I really don't. Matter of fact, when I talked with the friends that encouraged me to do this in the beginning, I always said I don't feel like my life is that exciting. But they encouraged me to put it out there. and to be willing to connect with people and to give of myself in that way. And so when I committed to do this, I committed to share those things with you. And what's awesome to me is it's caused me to do some things that I've never really thought about doing. It's calling me out of my box a little bit, calling me out of my comfort zone some, and really creating adventures. Because if all I did was sit around and watch TV or work on my computer, which is, I don't spend a lot of time watching television, but I do spend a lot of time working on the computer. That wouldn't be very exciting. So I start having to think of different ways that I can not entertain you, but actually do things in my life, my real life, that you guys might find interesting. So just to kind of show you what we got going on here, I've packed up my office, and I got a couple of exciting announcements, some things that are going on. Let me show you this. This is pretty cool. Not that I really know these guys or anything, but I connected with this guy from Hang 5 Gear. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them or not. They seem like a pretty rad company. They're a scooter company out of Arizona, and they sent me some shirts, and it looks like they've hooked up a couple of guys at our skate park, SFC Jericho here in Daytona Beach. And so they sent us a really cool package and a bunch of loot that we can give to kids, which is pretty rad. And I'll be recording a vlog pretty soon with some of their stuff. And maybe once I learn more about them, I'll be able to share that stuff with you guys too. And speaking of shirts, let me show you something else. If you follow my Instagram, you notice one of the things I put up recently was about making some custom tie-dye shirts. So check this out. This is, my son actually did these, but we've got a logo that we're working on with another organization, another guy that is doing that for us. And we are hand making this tie-dye stuff on our own. I'm going to be doing that when I get back from Christmas break. I'm going to be hand making all this tie-dye stuff, which is pretty rad. I'm watching all kinds of YouTube videos. There's great stuff out there to teach you how to do that. And so I'm going to be hand making these shirts. This logo that we have coming for Wisdom Skateboards, it's kind of a new icon for us, something we've never really done before. But the logo looks super rad. And eventually, hopefully within the next month or so, we'll be able to actually put these shirts on our website, which is wisdomskateboards.com, and you'll be able to go out and pick these up. I have a limited number of these shirts that we're going to do, so this is a one-of-a-kind, hand-run thing that we're doing. And whether you know much about our organization or not, I would really encourage you to check out wisdomskateboards.com. That's a skateboard brand that I started 10 years ago, and essentially it's just to support skate missions or action sports missions around the world. And we've got some really cool people that are connected with us. We've got some changes coming to the team that I'll announce as we get into 2018. And I'll just go ahead and put this out there. If you are a skateboarder and you got some really good skate skills, but more than that, you're looking to connect with an organization, a missions organization, where you want to use or can use skateboarding to share the gospel, I would love to connect with you. There's one guy that I'm already speaking with that, and if the Lord confirms it, we're going to bring him on. And if there are other people out there that want to do those kinds of things and join an organization that'll support you and stand behind you in the work that you're doing to share the gospel, regardless of where that is, if that's here in Florida or if it's in California or if it's in China, man, I want to get behind you and support you. So things like these shirts, when we do this kind of cool stuff, this goes to support those guys. Now, Wisdom Skateboards is a company, but it's not a company that we use to generate, all kinds of revenue and do awesome things for ourselves. Everything that we earn, everything that we bring in, when you buy our skateboards, when you buy our shirts and things that we do, you're supporting action sports mission work all around the world. With cool guys like Kyle Brush up in Michigan or Dan Gray. These guys are out there putting it on the line. They're doing what I call impact ministry. They're out there doing their thing, and they're sharing the gospel. They're building the kingdom. They're connecting with families, and they're real people that are connecting with other people, ultimately sharing their faith and helping people find their pathway to Christ. A lot of times we think about that path being ultimately ending in you get to go to heaven, which is true, right? But heaven's only the beginning. You think about it, it's heaven isn't what we're trying to attain. It's not the goal. The goal really is finding a relationship with God, finding a relationship with your Creator and Jesus, and really connecting yourself with something that's far bigger than you ever imagined. And without that relationship with Christ, nothing really matters. We can live and we can die and we can do cool things, but without that relationship with Him, it doesn't really mean anything. So if you don't know Christ, if you don't have a relationship with Jesus, and you don't even know what that looks like, especially in the midst of this Christmas season, we celebrate Christmas specifically because Jesus was born. But, Jesus was born for a bigger purpose, not to just exist, but to give Himself for us so that we could have a relationship with God. So if you don't know what that means, or you don't know what that looks like, and I know a lot of people go through some really hard times during the Christmas season, I invite you to connect with me. Connect with our team members. Feel free to hit me up on Instagram, or those guys on Instagram, or on my YouTube channel, or message us on our website. We've got all different kinds of ways for you to get in touch with us, and we would love to connect with you and share that with you. And there's not some magic prayer. It doesn't come like that. It comes from your heart, and it comes with a sincere desire to connect with Him. So as you prepare for your Christmas season, whether you're home with family or whether you're taking a trip like us, which this is the first time we've ever not been at home on Christmas in 24 years. Or maybe you're alone. I would invite you to seek out the real meaning of Christmas. Not the presents and not all the hype of the season, but the real meaning of the season, which is celebrating the birth of Jesus and what He did for us. He is the greatest gift. He is the meaning of Christmas. So thank you so much for tuning in. Stick around for the next couple of days. We'll be starting our journey in the next couple of days, and so I'm going to try to be uploading every day if I can. I think that's going to be a little bit difficult. I don't exactly know what my internet situation is going to look like up in the mountains, but if I can upload stuff, I would love to share that with you. If you've never been out west, the northern Pacific coast is some of the most beautiful scenery and beautiful place where you could ever go. So I would love to share that with you guys and have you come along with me. Probably be doing some filming on the Canon, be doing some filming on my new phone. I just got the new Google Pixel 2, which is pretty rad. Don't forget, we still have the longboard raffle going on too. We're down to about 90 tickets at this point. I would love to have gotten that thing out before Christmas, but we haven't sold all 200 tickets yet. So if you haven't bought a ticket, you can easily go to wisdomsb.com, and you can purchase tickets there. We've had some people buy huge allotments, which is really rad. We super appreciate that. But again, we've got about 90 of these things left, and so once I get back from Christmas break, hopefully we've sold all those tickets, and we'll do that live drawing here. So I'll record it. All the names are actually going to go here in this glass container, and we'll draw that winner, and we'll give you guys a call and let you know, and have you featured on the vlog as well. Also, don't forget, I'm going to be visiting the Envy guys up in Portland too. So once we come back from doing some snowboarding for a couple of days, I'm going to go hang out with Tony, which is my rep up there, let you guys see that whole operation, and I'm stoked to go visit them too. So thanks for tuning in. I love you guys. God bless. Have a great Christmas.